Continuing down the Oregon coast. Plan to stay more or less on the coast for the rest of the trip. Well, the rest of the trip south anyway. It's Highway 101 still, south of Port Orford. I've seen evidence of Highway 101 attempting to fall into the ocean. That's kind of typical. Same with Highway 1 when we get to that. The cliffs above oceans don't tend to be the most stable places for roads, but they sure are scenic, so I like to take them despite their instability. But you can always take Interstate 5 from Bellingham or Seattle or Portland or whatever all the way south, but to be honest, I've never done it. The coast is such a snap with all the chargers everywhere. No big gaps to fear. I mean, nothing worse than like 45 miles near Tillamook. That's not so bad if you plan for it. So I can't say I've been inspired to take Interstate 5 very much, though I have taken it all the way through Washington, and I've taken it from Eugene, Oregon, all the way up to Bellingham, Washington, Interstate 5, so I know there's enough chargers along there. I'm not so sure about the Northern California part of Interstate 5, but the Northern California part of Highway 101 is virtually impossible, as you'll see, so it may be worse, maybe better, maybe I should try it, maybe on the way back, maybe not this time. So, approaching Gold Beach, Oregon, a place I'm kind of fond of because it seems I often get a little sunshine, and it's a beautiful spot. I keep saying that, beautiful, spectacular, outstanding view of rocks in the water. I know, rocks in the water. It just never gets old. Like the moon just never gets old. Sunsets, they never get old. Rocks standing up in the water. It's just one of those things you can just keep going back to again and again. I'm enjoying the fact that now it's late Sunday afternoon. It's almost 3:30, and maybe it's partly the location, or maybe it's partly the washed out road. By a lot of time, about 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon, the traffic really thins out as people head back to their homes to get ready for the work week or what have you. So the road's kind of empty-ish right now, and I'm liking it. Got a pretty good charge right now. Can't really read the number. 65%, that's what it says. 65% charge, because I was a little uncertain about the next 2 possible places to charge. Some places are a little sketchy. They're like privately owned, but they let you use them, or I think you can use them, but it's just not really all that clear sometimes. So, anyone can list a place to charge on PlugShare without it necessarily being legit, without necessarily having gone through the bureaucratic process of permissions or whatever. So the next spot I'm a little uncertain of. I've used it a couple of times and I remained uncertain. It's one of those places where you gotta have your own charger. It's just an outlet, and I went right by it a few times because I was just like, that can't be legit. And then one day I finally decided to stop and check, and when I looked at the panel, because the outlet was not hot, I opened up the panel, which wasn't locked, and the big fat 50 amp outlet was clearly labeled EV charging. So I was like, okay, well, this does look legit. So I flipped the switch to power up the outlet, plugged in my charger, charged my car. Never saw another person who objected. There was someone working there, but they were doing mostly yard work, facilities kind of work. Anyway, they didn't, they spoke to me, but they didn't give me any inclination, any impression to think I was not allowed to charge. So I charged. And then I went back another time at night, because I thought it's kind of an eerie place, and I thought it'd be kind of extra cool at night because it's eerie. And dogs barked at me a whole bunch, but no person showed up, and nobody said I couldn't charge. But the whole time I just kept going, am I really allowed to charge here? As far as I know, I am, because it's listed on PlugShare as a place to charge, and no one has said otherwise or put a sign up otherwise. There's no designated parking, so it's catch as catch can. I'm hoping, since it's getting kind of late on the weekend, that the spot will be open. Drawback is it's right next to the highway, as a number of chargers are. Many chargers are right next to the highway. So I see a sign up ahead, sunken grade, and that is kind of what I was talking about, where you can see the highway is slipping into the ocean. Looks like they've repaired that, some of it. Yeah, looks like they've been, thumped. Okay, yeah, still kind of falling in the ocean, like brand new asphalt there, brand new pavement here. You can see it's slipping off. It's not not a very sustainable piece of road, I guess, but not something I'm an expert about. I can just notice, I can observe. This road seems to be falling and be slipping off into the ocean. So that kind of freaks you out. You might want to take a different route, but I'm not too concerned, I guess. Here you can see one of the more interesting, weird places to charge a car. When I was debating bringing my level 2 charger, this is one of the places I was thinking of. One of the reasons I decided to bring it is to charge here at the Prehistoric Gardens. So that there's my personal level 2 charger hooked up to a 50 amp outlet, and I was lucky the spot was open because it's not labeled in any way and anyone could just park here. I'm a big fan of tree ferns. You can see an old tree with ferns growing on it. Sure sign of the rainforest. Ferns also growing on the fence. Moss everywhere. Rainforest. And then there's the prehistoric aspect. Ferns growing out of the rock wall. Replicas of dinosaurs. So I don't want to wreck it for you. Maybe you want to come here yourself sometime. But it is kind of spooky at night, which was part of why I wanted to charge here at night. I thought it would be fun, but then I was like, well, maybe I'm not in the right place at the right time. Thanks for the charge. Thank you. See the rocks? Rocks in the water. Well, that's part of what this trip is all about. Seeing rocks in water. the bridge was squishy too. I've arrived in Brookings with a 50% charge, and lo and behold, the charger is in use. There's a plug-in hybrid here, plugged in to the level 2 charger. So I'm out of luck. Now I have to decide. Plan B. Can I make it to the next charger? Is that what I want to do? Do I want to hang out here and see if these people show up and move their cars sometime soon? That doesn't usually go especially well for me. So I'm going to go see how far it is to the next charger exactly. So then I went to the app on my screen device. You can see there I am in Brookings. You can see a couple more chargers there, but those, one of them is for customers only at a Best Western, I think, and the other one is at a car dealership, which is kind of a last resort. I don't really like to bother those people at the car dealership, and I have bothered those people before when this charger was out of order. But now there's a charger here just down the coast, another, I think it's like 9.4 miles to the Lucky 7 casino, and I can charge there. So no crisis, no big deal. I'll just move on to the next charger and hope that that one's not occupied. Unsurprisingly, I made it less than 10 miles down Highway 101 to the Lucky 7 casino and crossed the state line into California, where all of a sudden the AV network disappears and the green highway becomes a much sketchier proposition. So now there's a charge point here, and like most chargers, if not all chargers, there are several ways to get your charge started, and I've shown you using cards and fobs because that's what I do. But you can call their phone number to start a charging session, or you can the app or you can download their app. Most charging companies have an app. So here you can see some of the various charger apps. Charge Point, Charge Point is showing me in my car, and the charger. Not quite all in one place like you would think. It's an approximate thing. It says things about how long the car's been charging and what it's costing me and stuff, so that's kind of handy. And sometimes there will be chargers on the app that don't show up on the PlugShare app, on the specific charger app. And because this part of the drive is the sketchiest part, I was investigating that, and I'm curious now. Crescent City's not all that far away, but it shows, the ChargePoint app shows a level 2 charger in Crescent City, which I was completely unaware of and does not show up on the PlugShare app. So I'm going to go check that out and see if I can use it once I've had enough of charging here at the Lucky 7 Casino. The EVagabond video blog is brought to you by the Daofawu Monastery, offering spiritual study and monastic living in the far north of Washington State.